Hey guys, today I'm gonna be doing my United Champions 2013 review. So anyways, the first match was for the Intercontinental Championship, and it was Curtis Axel versus Kofi Kingston. And Curtis Axel ends up retaining with the DDT. But Kofi Kingston, I don't think he had trouble in Paradise at all in the match. But anyway, surprisingly, Paul Heyman didn't get involved, so Curtis Axel won without the help of anybody. So then the next match was the Fatal 4-Way match for the Divas Championship. AJ Lee, Natalya, Brie Bella, and it was AJ Lee, Brie Bella, Natalya, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, Naomi. And AJ Lee ends up retaining the title. Natalya has Brie Bella and Naomi in a double sharpshooter, and AJ Lee comes up from behind and puts Natalya in the Black Widow, and Natalya taps out. And then the next match was for I'm trying to remember. The next match was for the World Heavyweight Championship, which was Alberto Del Rio versus RVD. And I'm kind of getting tired of Del Rio getting himself disqualified to retain the title, because he had the cross arm breaker locked in on RVD, and then he got to the rope, and Del Rio didn't break by the count of 5, so he got himself disqualified. Which means the title stays with him because the championship doesn't change hands on disqualification. But anyways, afterward, the match, RVD did some weird move when he smashed a chair into Del Rio's face. And then the doctors had to carry Del Rio out of the arena. And RVD stood with the world title, but he's still not the champion. So then the next match was The Miz versus Fandango, and The Miz ends up winning with the figure 4 leg lock, and Fandango taps. It was an okay match. Fandango hit the leg drop on Miz once, and when he was going for a second one, Miz moved, then got him in the figure 4, and Fandango had to tap out. And then they had a commercial for the next pay-per-view called Battleground. And what I'm wondering is there going to be some kind of like stipulation or something to the pay-per-view? Like, for example, Hell in the Cell is Hell in the Cell, and Extreme Rules is Extreme Rules. Like, is Battleground going to have another stipulation or whatever? But anyways, that show is October 6th on pay-per-view. And then after that, the next match was a no disqualification handicap match. Curtis Axel and Paul Heyman versus CM Punk. And anyways, Paul Heyman was standing outside the ring the whole time while Curtis Axel fought Punk. And they used kendo sticks and tables and chairs. And then CM Punk hit the go to sleep on Curtis Axel, then put him in the Anaconda Vice immediately after, and Curtis Axel had to tap out. Then Paul Heyman was forced to get in the ring and fight Punk. Then Punk pulled out handcuffs from that he was hiding under his knee pad, and he put them on Paul Heyman. Payback from a couple of weeks ago on Raw when he did that to Punk. And it was kind of funny when Paul Heyman was trying to say he taps out, but the ref wasn't allowing it. So he still had to fight somehow, and Punk was just beating him up with the kendo stick the whole time. And then at the very end of the match, when Paul Heyman was getting beat up, there was a table set up, and out of nowhere Ryback comes out and picks up Punk and smashes him through the table. Then he rolls Paul Heyman onto CM Punk, and Paul Heyman gets the victory. I'm pretty sure everyone knew CM Punk was going to lose because he's been on a losing streak for the past couple months. And then after the match, Ryback carried Paul Heyman out of the arena. And you could see on Punk's back after Ryback had smashed him through the table, he actually had a real cut on his back and it was bleeding. It looked like one of the metal bars from the table cut his back. So anyways, Punk storms out of the arena mad, and Paul Heyman wins with the help of Ryback. And then the next match was for the United States Championship, Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, it was a pretty short match. Dean Ambrose ends up retaining with the DDT, and he pins Ziggler and retains the championship. Pretty short match, nothing really special. And the next match was for the Tag Team Championship, The Shield versus the Primetime Players. Earlier in the night, at the pre-show, the Primetime Players won the Tag Team Turmoil match. And they beat the Real Americans, and then they went on to face the Shield. So anyways, the Shield versus the Primetime Players. The Primetime Players were so close to winning the first Tag Team Championships, but sadly the Shield retained, with Roman Reigns hitting the spear on Titus O'Neil. But like, Titus O'Neil hit his finishing move on Seth Rollins, but then Roman Reigns broke the pin, then he hit the spear while the ref was dealing with Darren Young and Seth Rollins on the outside. So then Seth Rollins came in the ring and pinned Titus O'Neil after the spear from Roman Reigns, and they retained their championships. Then Dean Ambrose came out, and they all celebrating in the ring together. Once again, they all retained their titles, like always. And at this point in the pay-per-view, I was pretty upset because all the bad people were winning. First AJ Lee won, then Alberto Del Rio won, and Dean Ambrose won, and the Shield won. So far, pretty much all the heels were winning until the main event for the WWE Championship, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. But earlier on in the pay-per-view, Triple H had said that if anyone gets interfered in the match, they would get fired. So no one interfered in the match, surprisingly. So anyways, the whole time Randy Orton was pretty much on a retreat from Daniel Bryan. Randy Orton rolled out of the ring, and Daniel Bryan did that thing where he flies through the middle rope and hits him. He actually did that twice in a row. And when he was going for the third time, Randy Orton reversed it, and he hit him in the head before he could go through the rope. And then the ref actually gets hurt toward the middle of the match, and then another ref comes out, and then Daniel Bryan gets Randy Orton in the yes lock. Orton makes it to the rope. Then that's when the other ref comes out and has to break it. And then Daniel Bryan, they were pretty much just back and forth the whole time. They were doing moves on each other and everything. At one time, Randy Orton did his backbreaker from the second rope on Daniel Bryan. And at that point, that's when the first ref that got hurt earlier finally came back in the match. And he told the other ref he could go back to backstage. And the first ref got back in, and he was refereeing the rest of the match. So anyways, Daniel Bryan did the diving headbutt on Randy Orton from the top rope, and Randy Orton somehow kicked out. And then he kicked him in the head, where he kicks him like 4 or 5 times, and he kicks him in the skull. Then he did that move how he won at SummerSlam, where he does the running knee to the face, and he hit Randy Orton in the face with it. Then, surprisingly, the ref counts fast when Daniel Bryan's pinning Randy Orton. Like, Scott Armstrong is refereeing the match, and he counts fast, and it gives Daniel Bryan the win, making Daniel Bryan the new WWE champion. So I don't know what's going to happen on Raw, but I feel like Daniel Bryan's somehow going to get screwed out of the title. Because Randy Orton's probably going to complain that the ref counted fast and everything. But for now, Daniel Bryan's a WWE champion. And the pay-per-view ends with Daniel Bryan walking out of the arena with the championship. Everyone's cheering yes, yes, yes. And that's the end of Night of Champions. So anyways, next month, in 3 weeks or so, I'm going to do my review on Battleground. And I'll see you guys then.